Hi BookTube, I'm here today with what I read this week and my current reads. I've been a bit of a reading slump this week. I had norovirus, then a bad cold, and it's not me for six, so I haven't really read much. The first thing I read, or half read, was an audiobook, and that was Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. That was read by Jeremy Irons. I sort of got halfway through and then I just couldn't finish it. Not too much because of the subject content, obviously. It is quite a trigger warning of a book. You know, it does talk about paedophilia, but I think it does so in a non-sensationalist way. It's very beautifully written. It's quite poetic in the language. I don't find it's sensationalist. But I just found it was quite laboured, and even Jeremy Irons, who reads beautifully and his voice is amazing, didn't make me want to finish it, because you kind of know how it ends at the beginning, and I just couldn't be bothered to find out going through all of, you know, the whole rigmarole of it. So I got halfway through, and obviously none of the characters are likeable, the subject matter's not very palatable, so I decided not to bother with it. I also read number 8 of the Penguin Little Black Classics, which is A Modest Proposal by Jonathan Swift. This is quite a fun little read. This is Jonathan Swift writing at the time of the Troubles in Ireland in the 18th or 19th century, can't remember, around times of famine, and he is suggesting that the answer to the problems of famine and malnutrition is that the wealthy eat the children, of the Irish. It's tongue-in-cheek, it's quite amusing and satirical, but yeah, so that's the answer to the crisis and the famine is to eat the children, particularly the babies. I also read this month I Call Myself a Feminist, and this is the view from 25 women under 30. I have put little markers in a lot of the pages. This is it's not an in-depth look at feminism, it's very much an overview, it's very much an introduction to feminism, but I think it does it really well. It does show the point of view from a lot of different women from different backgrounds, from religion, cultures, colour, class, race, all those sorts of things. So sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive because obviously there are reasons why everybody calls themselves a feminist and they do cross over, but it does sort of look at intersectionality of feminism, where it crosses in with racism and sexism, well, obviously sexism, ageism, those kind of things. So it is a good overview. What I found quite reassuring and heartening is that this is women under 30. Obviously I am over 30, and as I grew up, feminism had become a dirty word almost. It was sort of linked with man-hating antagonists, and it wasn't cool to call yourself a feminist. I think the word feminist had got lost and it had been taken over by the wrong kind of woman, really. If there can be such a thing as a wrong kind of woman. I think maybe it had been taken over by other groups to throw it back at women, let's put it that way. So this is quite reassuring that feminism is alive and well and regarded in a positive way, and something really proud to be, and something that is for all. It's about inclusiveness, it's about equality, and so that is quite reassuring that the future of feminism and the women coming after me are, you know, really on it. So it does cover a lot of different aspects of feminism, and so it does give you a really good overview and of the many facets that there are to feminism. And I think if you're new to feminism, it's a great way to introduce you to the subject and to make you want to read more, but also it's just a good reminder, and it's just, yeah, I recommend it. Like I say, it's not in depth, it's not difficult, there's lots of brief, I wouldn't even say essays, little sections in it, and it's interspersed with quotes. A lot of the quotes I find really good, really inspiring, really relevant, but there is the odd one or two that I thought felt a little bit like a filler and didn't really seem to make much sense in what it was. But yeah, it's a good overview. It's the first book we are reading in the Feminist Orchestra, the Goodreads reading group set up by Jean from Jean's Bookish Thoughts. And I think for a feminist book group, it's a great place to start because, like I say, it is that general overview and it does cover all the different aspects of feminism. So I recommend it. Like I say, it does give you a pause for thought, and it did, you know, there were bits where I was really like, yes, I agree, this is great. So that's all I read this week. Not very much at all, but what I am currently reading, now this is an absolutely vile edition of this book. This is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. It was just a cheap Wordsworth Classics edition. And the type in it is absolutely minute, and as you can see there's not even a gap between the chapters, so I'm not setting myself any targets to finish this anytime soon. As you can see, I'm very much at the beginning, but from what I've read so far, it's a lot more readable than I thought it was going to be. I thought it might be a bit difficult to get into. I thought the language might be a little bit over my head, but it's actually a lot more readable than I thought. But like I say, I'm just going to read bits at a time whenever I feel like it. So I may not even finish it this year, who knows. I'm not going to put myself under any pressure, but I'm just going to, you know, dip in and out of it as and when. So don't expect a review of this anytime soon because I won't finish it just yet. I've also started reading Carroll by Patricia Highsmith, obviously. The film of this has been critically acclaimed, and in the laws of Swirly Girly, you can't watch the film until you've read the book. So I've made a start on the book. First couple of chapters I thought are a bit difficult to get into, but it seems to be getting going a little bit now. So yeah, so not sure what I'll make of it, but again, quite slumpy this week, so I didn't get very far. So only really just read the first few chapters. On the theme of feminism, this is a book that I've borrowed off my daughter. This is Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates. Again, just made a start on this one, but liking what how can I say I'm liking what I read so far when it's, it is everyday sexism and just a reminder of all the things that you may take for granted as a woman as normal practice in everyday life, and it is a sharp reminder of actually we are subjected to sexist behaviour all the time, and we just allow it to happen because it's not challenged in society. So it's great so far, really enjoying it. My daughter absolutely loved this book, so I am going to continue dipping into that one. And finally I am reading In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. North Korea absolutely fascinates me, and this is Yeonmi's story of life in North Korea and how she escaped from it. I'm about halfway through. I wouldn't say that it's well written because it isn't, but I don't think that matters too much, because this is her story in her words, and it's not meant to be a great work of literature. It's meant to be her telling her story, and that in itself is absolutely fascinating, and so alien to anything that we would recognise in this country. So I'll let you know in my wrap up what I thought of this one, but so far it's a fascinating read. And that's it for this week. Let me know what you're reading and what you'll think. Give me a big thumbs up if you like what you see, and even better, it makes my day if you put a comment and we can have a chat about books, and subscribe if you like what you see, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!